kwa sasa tuende straight into our first topic, JB. Ambapo tunaongea kuhusu neglecting. We are asking if you've neglected
the elders.
Yes.
Yeah.
The elderly.
They have neglected us.
Tunaomba serikali hata mtoto yangu sijui yuko country gani.
Have we neglected the elderly in our society?
Because of the standard of living, it has gone so high that the little that you have is not even enough for you and your family, and you have to the parents at home. So it is difficult to take care of them and yourself at the same time. So they feel neglected.
Nimekataa kwa sababu kusema ukweli, kutoa ni moyo na kutenga wazazi isiwe sababu ya kwamba maisha yamekuwa hali zaidi. Kwanza mwanzo zaidi ni laana, na laana hufuata kisasi mpaka kisasi cha 3. Watu ambao tulibarikiwa pengine kupata kiwango fulani cha elimu na kuendelea, tulianza kuingia kwa maisha fulani ambayo tunasema pengine ni ya kiuzungu kidogo hivi. Kwa hivyo tulidharau kiasi wazazi wetu kwa ile njia wametulea nayo.
Blessings come from these parents. Na kuna wale baadhi yetu ambao hawakulelewa na wazazi haswa, walilelewa na hao wazee. Na kuna mengi, kama mimi ni mwalimu, kuna mengi nimejifunza kutoka kwa nyanyangu. Ile hekima wako nayo ni nyingi sana, hatuwezi tukaitupilia mbali hivyo.
Niongea na wazazi wangu almost kila siku. But elderly, bado hawasahau. Sio wote waenda kazi. Ukipata kitu kidogo unatumia, unaambia mama nunua sukari, kunywa chai.
When I say that the standard of living is high, it doesn't mean that we forget about them completely. The little we have, we share with them, but the problem is they may expect more than we can afford. So in the long run, they feel neglected.
Partly, some people have neglected them. Because utapata watu wazee wako tao, wanaomba huko. Yeah? And yet they're supposed to have, wako kwa hao, somewhere wame-relax tu. Yao tu ni kungojea watoto wapate anything that it will make them survive.
So in your opinion, who is an elderly person?
My grandmother now.
Who is around what age bracket?
Almost 100.
So do you look at them as a nuisance?
It depends with the individuals. Like, there are those who are willing to assist the elderly, but they are not able. There are those who are able, but they are not willing to assist.
I do myself. I've had to house people, take them to hospital, like from the rural areas. Perhaps not even my direct grandfathers and grandmothers or my parents. But sometimes someone from the village, you travel there, you are told, she has been having problems. So every time I go there, I have to buy sugar, I have to buy bread, and then I know how I'm going to distribute it. But what I'm saying is, look at the bigger picture. We cannot be so individual when it comes to solving this problem.
Institutions like the churches are trying. Like in my community, even here in Nairobi, some people are requested to go and find out about the elderly in the community. Those who are sick, those who have grown so old that they cannot go to the church, and to inform now the church ministers, whereby Holy Sacrament can be taken to them, prayers can be said to them, and other help can be taken to them.
Are we also slowly turning into selfish people? Because there was a recent survey that was done, and among the elderly people who were interviewed, kuna mmoja alisema ya kwamba his son has never gone to see him for 18 years. He's just waiting for him to die. I inherit the land. And there are so many other cases like that. So are we becoming selfish?
I don't think. Culture also plays a role here. For example, I may have my parents, they are elderly. But now that I'm a girl, in my culture, they are not allowed, my mother is not allowed to come and stay with me. I may be willing to bring her so that she will stay around with her. But culturally, she's not allowed to come. So it is difficult. And it is also not easy to be making trips to that place every now and then.
I think we tend to look at support to the old as monetary alone. Sometimes you only call when you are said in something, or you only seem to appear. I think there's also a need to change the attitude we have, both from the parents' perspective and also from the children's perspective. Let me not look at my parents and know I cannot go home because I don't have something. And sometimes even them, they have a bad attitude. You might visit empty-handed and they wonder, why did you have to use all this fare? You should just have sent it. Someone was cracking a joke the other day and saying, I sent my mom 1,000 she was not expecting. You just send. Then she calls and asks you, na hujaweka ya kutoa? You get the kind of you get the kind of attitude that is there.
Sometimes, yeah, there are some parents like, if someone calls you, ukiona simu yake, you just know huyo ni shadow. Yeah, it has come to that part, like you can just see someone is calling my to ni pesa. Hakuna chakula, tumekauka hapa tuma kitu. Yeah. So it has come to a point that sometimes they don't just call to ask you how are you doing, have missed you. No. Hakuna kitu, we want this and this and this. And that time maybe even you at a fix.
Tusiangalie tu wasasi kama njia moja kuwatembelea ama ya kutoa neglect ni kutumia hao pesa. Kama vile my sister here said, kuenda kwa wasasi ni hekima. Wewe kama mtoto ambao umezaliwa katika ile boma, ukitajika kutoa zaidi na kile ucho nacho. Peana kiasi kile uko nacho. Lakini unapoonekana pale mara kwa mara, inadhihirisha ya kwamba wewe ni sehemu ya hii jamii.
Let me talk from an experience I had with my mother-in-law. I wanted to stay with her for at least a month. But when she came, before the week ended, she wanted to go back. Then I asked her why. She told me, now you have to use the same toilet. This is now the so-called mila na desturi. That is wrong according to her. So she had to cut the visit short, and I wanted to at least to stay with her and for her to relax and see what we do when we are in town. But due to the culture, she could not use the same toilet. She had to go to the neighbors.
We need a generation shift whereby we will teach our kids. Some of us are even given transport to go back there by our parents. They fuel your car because they want to see you. They are trying to change that. It's already happening. The empowered parents are trying to tell their kids, I'll even send you fare from wherever you are abroad to come spend time with us, But it is us now because the majority is here with us.
Government has come up with a kind of a fund for all people. It's called the Social Protection Cash Transfers. And inapea elderly people an amount of 1,500 Kenya shillings per month for their upkeep. Now, have you heard of any older person or elderly person who's receiving this money? Or did you ever, what do you know about it?
No, just heard it from you.
1,500 is very little. Because even with 1,000, you just go and get either 3 things or 5 things in the supermarket. 1,500 is very little.
It's better than nothing. So I think we are moving towards the correct direction.
Unless they give fertilizers and the seeds of tomatoes and for them to plant. It's better they give those to the nursery, masukuma wiki and all that for them to plant.
How are they going to identify these people? If you take Kenya as a country, we have so many of these people. Is it possible we can be able to reach each and every one of them?
Hizo pesa kama mwanzo wa serikali kwanza kukumbuka watu wake ni vizuri, lakini tutahimiza tu ya kwamba siwe reviewed from time to time, ya kwamba vile maisha yanavyozidi kupanda nayo kiasi hiyo kifanye nini kiongezwe ili waweze kumudu maisha ile yanayohitajika.
Okay, so in conclusion, how do you bridge the gap between the elderly and us, the new generation or the urbanites?
Let us not look at them when they are 60 and then come with small amounts and say we'll solve your problems at when you are at the sickness stage. Right now we can see symptoms that are there in our economy. So let us have the right policies. And then when the government is doing this, let it not be another propaganda.
I think the government, Kenya being an agricultural country, they should set up a policy where the areas that are productive are meant for agriculture so that there's enough food. So instead of giving this money, people cash, they should be providing them with food so that they are able to eat.
Just visiting them, making good calls and even letting them know that you don't just have to call to ask for money. Just call to say hi, how are you doing? Yeah, I was thinking about you.
As parents, when we educate our children, we should not look at them that when in future that is a way of paying back what we did for them. We should take it as our responsibility.
Also, as the young people who are starting our families right now, let us also not look at kids as self-insurance schemes. And also, let us also, when when we are kids, let us not look at our parents like luggage. Let us look at each other from a holistic approach, like we are presents to each other.
That note, tumefika mwisho wa mada hii na tumepata maoni ya watu hapa kwa Matatu JB. Kwa sasa let's go to the streets. Tupate kusikia tu nini ukakusema, si ndio?
Yes.
Then we'll be back.
Tunakaa tukae nao, tuwachunge vizuri, chakula kama watafutie hata chakula, kila kitu washughulikie yani.
Kama ni wagonjwa lazima washughulikie. Alafu pia wakihitaji msaada wetu tunawapatia. Nikipata kazi naweza kumsaidia, nikipata salari yangu nimtume kama mzazi wangu.
Bibi yangu lazima amshughulikie, ampikie. Ya pili pia malazi yake, vile anakaa, mavazi, unaona. I think hizo ndio za maana, sababu kama hajiwezi kabisa, unajua sana, lazima nichukue full responsibility.
Mzee wangu nimpeleke ishi penye si huko? Hapana.